on my door there are excitingly signs of spring. So the snowdrops are out at the moment because it is February, and even some of the daffodils are trying to come out. So they're definitely still buds at the moment, but I should say probably in the next couple of weeks the daffodils will come out, which will be nice to have a nice splash of yellow in the countryside. So even though it is miserable at the moment, like for instance yesterday it was beautiful sunshine on my dog walk, whereas this morning it's really dull and drizzly and grey and horrible. But spring is starting to try and peek its way through the sort of frost-bitten ground. So hopefully it will start to be springtime soon. But anyway, I will cut back to the other video because I forgot to add this bit in. But hello and welcome back to Knitting with Betty. I am Betty and today I've got a few things to go through with you. I have managed to get a few finished objects done, which is quite exciting. So I think I mentioned it last episode, but February is going to be finished off February, and I started off on the 1st of February quite well, in that I made myself sit down and weave in the ends of one of my projects, so that before I did any like fun knitting. So that was really successful. So I've got one finished object because of it, which is quite exciting. But I have been doing other finishy-offy bits and bobs, but as yet only one completely finished object. I do have a bag that I'm currently blocking, which is it's finished but not quite blocked out, and I need to sew the handles on for that. So I'm getting there, and I've done a few more flowers on my Annie jacket, so that's quite exciting. But I thought, shall I start with the finished object? Oh, and as you can probably tell, I'm wearing my lovely new skirt. This is the lilac blouse that I bought to go with it from the internet, from House of Foxy. And although it's not exactly the same purple, this is a much more blue end of purple, whereas this is very pinky purple. I like it, so I thought I'd keep it. I mean, it kind of goes, so I can make it work. Yep. I'm not that fussy. So my first finished object is I knitted this, gosh, was it last summer, or it might have even been the summer before actually, which is the Lucca Scarf. So I saw this on another podcast. Oh gosh, what's it called? The Meaningful Stitch, I remembered. And she had knitted this, and I thought it was such a beautiful design. It reminds me very much of sort of Art Deco, geometric kind of shapes. But as you can see, there is a glaring mistake in that there are two different types of dye lot here. So I did not check properly. There we go, you can see it again and again, another change. I did not check properly when I was buying the yarn that I had got matching dye lots. So I did have, unfortunately, two different dye lots, but I've striped it. So got the brighter one here, followed by the slightly darker one, followed by the brighter one again, followed by the slightly darker one. So it's a bit stripy, but actually when it's on, I mean, this is under, I've got a ring light on at the moment, so you can see the difference quite a lot, but in normal daylight, when it's wrapped around your neck, you can't really tell. And this was waiting on my to finish pile for ages, just having to weave in the ends. That's literally all that I needed to do for it. And so I don't know why I was putting it off for so long, because it literally took me like 10 minutes just to weave in the ends, maybe not even that. And then it was finished, and I have been wearing this on my dog walk. And I have to say, because it's got these little holes in for the lace work, it's the perfect dog walking scarf for me, because I am on the warmer end of the scale of people. I am always warm, so it's perfect for when it's windy and cold on the field. I can sort of bunch it up and close all the holes, but if I get a little bit too hot, the holes are like air holes, so they keep me cool. But I just love this yarn. This is John Arbon yarn, and it's the colour called Odd Madod, and it is this sort of acid green, which I absolutely love. And I bought this from the Lace Knittery in, is it Ilminster or Ilchester? One of those. And I bought some sparkly bright pink yarn as well at the same time. It goes really well, the sort of acid green and the bright pink. But yeah, it's nice for road safety colour, shall we say, when I'm walking the dogs, so I don't get run over. Not that I ever go out in the dark with the dogs, because, you know, female on her own. But anyway, I just love this pattern. It was really nice to do. It's really repetitive and sort of quite easy, and I just love the pattern it's created. So that's the Lucca Scarf, which I'll obviously put in the comments down below if you want, and not the comments, in the description box thingy, so if you want to knit this you can. But yeah, highly recommend. It's beautiful, and I can imagine, like, this is so John Arbon does tend to be woolly wool. I can imagine this if you did it in like a lace weight. This is sock, their sock yarn, so it's fingering weight. But if you did this in like a lace weight, or even like a cobweb lace, it would be absolutely beautiful. Like very ethereal. Is that a big mistake I can see in the middle there? Let's have a look. Yeah, a bit of a mistake there. Let's put it onto a good bit. So yeah, you have to concentrate when you're doing the lace pattern, otherwise you get very obvious mistakes. But yeah, really beautiful little design, and I knew as soon as I saw the lady knitting it on the meaningful stitch, is that what she's called, that I wanted to recreate it. And she did it in an equally sort of beautiful greeny, yellowy, chartreusey kind of colour. So yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily my colour, but I just thought it was beautiful. So highly recommend that. So that was my first finished object of the month. Then I had a slight panic. So at the beginning of February, I had a slight panic. I bought this yarn from Rowan. I think it was in their Black Friday sale. I don't think it was a Christmas sale. So I've had it a little while, and I bought it as a kit. So you got two, I think they're 50-gram balls of, oh no, are they 100 grams? I can't remember. Do I have? No, I don't have the wrapper here. You get two balls of yarn, one in this sort of granite colour and one in cream. And you also get the pattern for the bag. And I bought it, it's like a Norwegian style pattern on a bag, and I bought it to give to my friend for her birthday. So Alice, lock away if you're watching this. Her birthday is on the 4th of March, so at the beginning of February I still hadn't started it, so I was starting to panic a little bit. Her birthday is the 4th of March, so technically I had to get this done by the 2nd of March, so I can gift it to her on the, I can post it to her on the 3rd of March for it to reach her on the 4th of March. So I had a bit of a tight deadline, and I didn't know how long this was going to take me because I've never knitted anything like this before. But I absolutely loved the design. So this is the bag. It's on a blocking mat with my trusty blocking pin things. which by the way, Alice got me a voucher for my birthday for a wall shop, and I bought some of these with it to help block out things because they're so useful. I've got 2 sets of these now because the one set's not quite enough really for a jumper, especially if you've got long sleeves. But yeah, so I absolutely love this bag. I can absolutely see me knitting this again. So the checkerboard bottom, you can just about see here, is a flat piece that you knit back and forth, and then you pick up all of the stitches around the 4 sides of the bottom panel, and you just knit round and round in circles, and it creates this beautiful bag. I just loved this sort of Norwegian style pattern on it, and being only 2 colours, you don't get in a terrible tangle like you do with Colourwork if you're doing sort of 3, 4, 5, 6 colours. So it was really quick to do and really simple, and I just think it's lovely, even though it's in grey, which I'm probably not a grey person because I find it quite boring, but I absolutely love it. I think it's a really beautiful sort of gunmetal grey. And so yeah, that is the main body of the bag. So the top bit is garter stitch, so that did curl a little bit, so hence why I've had to block it like this. But then the straps of the bag are just like this checkerboard to match the bottom. So I just need to like this is a bit damp, I need to wait for them to dry and then sew both the handles on, and then that'll be the bag finished. So there you go, you can see it all together. It's just such a cute little design, and it was so quick. I cast this on and had it finished in a week. I did have to buy another ball of the grey because I am quite a tight knitter, so I found that I used, obviously even though it looks pretty even between the white and the grey, obviously I used a lot more of the grey because I have quite a bit of the creamy colour left over, but I had to buy another ball of yarn just to do the handles actually, and to be able to sew it on so that the handles are nice and strong when they're sewn on. I don't think I would have had enough if I'd finished that ball, the first ball. So if you are a tight knitter, you might need to get an extra ball from Rowan. But yeah, I haven't used their yarns before. This was their 100% wool superwash, so which is great for bags. If you spill something down it, then you can just pop it in the washing machine, which is a bit of a lifesaver, isn't it? So that's that. I can definitely see myself knitting this again. My mum absolutely loved it, so I might have to do one for her and one for me because it's a cute bag and it's quite a good sort of size. Like, you can get quite a bit of shopping in there, I feel, so I might have to do that one again. So that was that one. So that is kind of finished in Finish It February, but I've just got a few last few bits to do. But yeah, where are we? We're mid-Feb, well, no, just started the 2nd week of February, so I should be able to get that done. Then I had a UFO class, so unfinished objects. My teacher does every now and again, she does UFO classes where you can just bring along your project that you haven't finished, and it's just, I think it's 2 hours where you can just sit and ask her help if you need it, or just get on with what you're doing just to finish a project. And so I set myself a target of doing 10 flowers in this 2-hour slot, which I only just made, and I would have got more done had I not been so silly in that I kept embroidering the wrong bits of the jacket. So it's every other lattice square. So I'd done one here, I think, and had to unpick it, which was really annoying. So I could have got more done, but I kept doing it in the wrong place. So excuse me. So what someone suggested, which was a genius idea, was to put little stitch markers in where the flowers are meant to be, so that I don't embroider in the wrong lattice diamond, because it was not only once I did, I think I did about 3 times, did it in the wrong thing. So it's a little bit more done, and sort of having discussed this with other people, it might just be the front of this that's going to get embroidered, because I'm not sure I can cope with doing the whole of the back as well, but I just absolutely love it. I mean, I'd love to do the whole front and back because I think it's such a pretty design. It's just whether I can stand it or not, whether I get frustrated or want to move on to the next thing. But yeah, so I've still got that to do, so I might set myself, I think I said last time I might set myself like do 2 flowers a day or something, and take me the rest of the year to do. But yeah, that just needs finishing, so I might do a few more by the end of February, but I don't think I'll finish this one actually in February time. But yeah, show you a close up of the flowers. Aren't they so pretty? And it's pretty, these are the only kind of stitches that you're going to be doing, so it's sort of the lazy daisy here, you've got little French knots and some sort of satin stitchy kind of ones as well. I love this one, and I love this lavender one, that's so pretty. But that's the only kind of embroidery skills that you need. And yeah, it's just, I think it's so beautiful. So I've got that to finish. Then I also have been, I think, did I show you my swatch last time? So for the Imitation game cardigan, jacket, whatever you want to call it, that I'm doing for another knit along that I haven't started yet, I have done the swatch now. I don't know, had I done this before? I don't really remember, but I was having problems getting gauge because it is an insane gauge on this, so I am doing a separate video on how you can change the gauge of a pattern, basically, that if it's not matching up and it's just crazy. So the gauge on the pattern is 9 stitches per inch with a 3.75mm needle, which I'm thinking, this is insane. On 4-ply or originally it would have been 3-ply, you're never going to get that with 3.75mm needles. Like, how are they doing this? Like, are they insanely tight knitters? Like, what's going on? So I decided to work up in 3.75mm needles my own gauge swatch to see how many stitches I was getting per inch. Then I can change the pattern based on my gauge on that needle size, change the number of stitches basically so that it fits me, but fits this gauge also, because I was really looking forward to this knit because it was such a big needle size, and having done most of my knits in like 3.25 needles, or with the ribbing being 2.75mm needles, that can get quite a lot, especially for doing ribbing with the little needles. So I was really looking forward to the bigger needle size for this knit, and it would hopefully be a little bit quicker. So that is why I decided to stick with the needle size and change the gauge, and hopefully it will work out if I've worked it out fine. But yes, I am looking forward to starting that one. I've just got so many other projects on the go that I thought I can't start another one. And because I tried to knit monogamously, now that I'm doing several projects on the go at the same time, I don't like it. Like, nothing's finished. Because when you knit just one project at a time, you have like a target to finish it, and so I find I've knit quicker almost. So, but if I've got like 2 or 3 projects on the go, like, you only do a little bit of each, and then it doesn't feel like you've got very far really. So that's why I haven't started that. I do have my other Colourwork project, which I don't remember how far I'd got on that. So maybe whoops, oh, crikey, nearly fell over. So maybe last time I don't think I'd quite finished the body. So I finished the body now. So here we go. This is the front with the steek down the front. See if we can get it all in. There we go. So this putty colour will also be on the button band and the cuffs of the sleeves. So that is the body done, which is wonderful, and I love this yarn so much. It's really soft. So I've started the first sleeve, And I got very, very frustrated with it because look, it's all tangled up. I was having to change needles regularly for the Colourwork. So I said last time that because my Colourwork is a lot tighter, I changed to a slightly bigger needle, but then it means that I'm constantly changing and it's really annoying, and these are quite sort of cumbersome and get in the way. So what I did is I threw it in the naughty corner because it was annoying me, and I had my friend's bag to do, so I was panicking that I wasn't going to get it done in time. What I did is I bought some interchangeable needles. So a friend of mine from school, actually, hello Mary, if she's watching, I did tell her to sign up, but whether or not she has is another question. But I saw that she was selling some needles on Tinterweb, and I think it was an unwanted, or not an unwanted Christmas gift, but she'd been given a set of interchangeable needles for Christmas, and so she was getting rid of her old set of needles because they were the same. So these are the, oh gosh, what's their name? Symphony Rose interchangeable needle set. I've been calling it rosewood. I don't know if it is rosewood, but they are gorgeous. So this is a beautiful set of wooden interchangeable needles, and in the bottom you get all the various bits you need, so lots of different size cables. There's instructions on how to set them up. You've got the little doohickey tightening bits, and I don't know what these, they must have a use for something, with these little metal poly things. So this one's the key that tightens them up, and then it even comes with a little needle measurer, which I thought was cute. And on one side it's got the US sizes, and on the other side it's got millimeters, and that is important because on these needles, where I've been using them, so let me show you this number 4mm. Ooh, there we go. You can see the it's actually rubbed off what size it is. So yeah, that little measurer is really useful. But they go from a 3.5 to 8mm. So there wasn't my usual 3.25s or 2.75s. So I bought some needles on Tinterweb, to the interchangeable needles in 3.25. And unbeknownst to me, this is quite an old set. So if you do get this set, be warned, because this is before they standardised the size of these doohickeys. The thread, ooh, you can see it there better. On all of the Knitpro, these are Knitpro needles, they have standardised the size of this, which goes into the end here. So these ones fit perfectly together, but if you buy the new kind of needles that have been standardised, these are too fat. They will not, for the life of you, work. And I was getting really frustrated because I was like, well, why have they got two different sizes of needles, and like, if I buy another cable, is it going to fit these needles? Like, what's going on? And it is because I got in contact with Knitpro because I was like, there's got to be some explanation for this, because, or am I just going absolutely mad? And they explained that this is the old set. So my friend must have been gifted the new version of this, which is in a rose gold box instead of a brown box. And so she got rid of her old set that are the non-standard size. So I've now had to buy new cables as well for my 3.25s. But I do have the 3.5s which I can use for my Colourwork sleeves. Now, the other thing to say is I immediately broke these when I got these. So it turns out wooden needles are quite fragile, and because I was getting really frustrated because this one was quite a tight fit to this doohickey, I was getting a bit frustrated, and I was like forcing it on instead of being gentle, and I snapped the end of the needle off. So it works now because I've kind of used oil, like I just put some vegetable oil from the kitchen on to try and grease it a bit. So if you can see, you get to about here and then you have to like force it on. There we go. It's gone all the way now. And then you tighten it with the key. Well, can you see there's a little break there, just here. Well, that's where I snapped it because I was being impatient and trying to like strong arm it. So be really careful with wooden needles if you get wooden needles. But other than that, I've absolutely enjoyed using these. I've been using the 4.5s for my bag pattern, and they are less slippy. Like I'm used to aluminium needles from vintage needles I've used in the past, and then when I moved on to circular needles, just the cheapo set that I bought off the internet were aluminium ones. And see, it's really tight. There we go. It's kind of, I'm trying not to break it. So the wooden ones have more grip to them, which I wasn't used to, but that's actually quite nice. So if you're working with like a really slippy kind of yarn, these are perfect because it kind of, it doesn't catch, but it grips more, if that makes sense. So if you don't like aluminium needles or metal needles, these are perfect because they have that extra bit of grip on them. But yeah, be warned, these the laser, it's not lasered on, it's got to be printed on if it rubs off. Yeah, they'll rub off if you're not careful, so always keep them in the right order. But other than that, yeah, I absolutely loved using it on the bag pattern. They're really perfect. Like the joins, like some people worry about the joins on interchangeables, that they might create like a lumpy bit where it catches the yarn. Didn't have any problems with that. It was a really good fit together. They were really smooth. I had no problems with that whatsoever. It was just my clumsiness that broke the needle. Or my impatience rather. So yeah, I would recommend these needles, but buy the newer set so you don't have to buy 2 sets of cables. Pro tip there. So that was that I got in the post, which was very exciting. And the last thing, so yeah, now I have interchangeable needles, it will mean that it'll be slightly easier, hopefully, to change the needles, because I was finding changing over, especially when you're changing colour as well, it was getting quite, let me find a baggy bit, like you can see where the colours change in the middle, where my side seam is, it's kind of baggy a little bit, where I haven't been able to get that tight, kind of, this side's a little bit better. It's not as problematic because I'm not changing over the yarns here, but where I do change them over, they were just really annoying me basically, and I couldn't get, because I was changing over needles, I couldn't get it in close enough to make it a nice tight stitch so that it didn't create this little sort of baggy stitches. So I can go in and like manually kind of manipulate them afterwards. But who's got time for that, honestly? And maybe in blocking it might block out okay, but hopefully having the interchangeables will mean that I don't have to worry about that, and it will be slightly quicker. Now the other thing to say about sleeves is I very stupidly have done one sleeve at a time, and that's another reason that this was really winding me up, because they are a lot smaller of a circumference, so I'm having to do magic loop here, and I absolutely hate magic loop. Like with the body, because it was a big enough circumference, I didn't really have to do magic loop all that much. It was only on sort of the very end bits where it was slightly less stitches that I call it half magic loop, where you've got like the needles continue to go. Let me try and explain this. So instead of it being like this and then you pull this out, you have it just a half magic loop, so just this bit loopy, and knit like this. So I call it half magic loop. I don't know if it's an actual technique or not. But yeah, it's funny, I can't really do it with something this small, so I'm having to do full magic loop, which I don't like, because then you get the really loose stitches. So I have two solutions for this. So what I should have done is I should have knitted 2 sleeves flat, but in a big loop, so having 2 steeks either side. So you have sleeve, steek, sleeve, another steek, join it in the round. So that's what I should have done, because then it would have been more like this size, because you've got the 2 flat sleeves open, and then you just cut up the steeks and then sew the sleeves together down the underarm, as you would normally if you did a flat sleeve. The other thing that I can do, which I'm going to have to do now, because I decided to do one sleeve and then do the other sleeve, which is going to mean I'm on second sleeve syndrome. This is only the first sleeve, and I'm on sleeve island, lost without a paddle at the moment. Somebody else suggested where you put 2 sets of circular needles, so you have half of your stitches on one circular needle, half your stitches on the other circular needle, and you use one set on one side, go across, turn it, and then use the other set of circular needles on the other side and knit across that, and you just keep turning and using just the same needles on the same size, which she said really helped get those tight stitches that where it where the half ends, you know what I mean. The first stitches that are a little bit loose and a little bit ugly, it negates that. So hopefully I will start doing that now that I've got my other needle and my other cables. I can start doing that. So whether or not it will make it go any faster, who knows, because all the tangle, because it's so little and there's so many colours. So that's where I got up to on that, and then threw it in the corner and was like, nope, I can't handle that, it's too stressful. And I had my friend's bag to do anyway for her birthday, but I have finished that now. Oh, and another project that I started working on whilst that was in the naughty corner before I started the bag is my birthday yarn. So I bought this in Exeter, this yarn, and the voucher that my friend gave me for my birthday, not only did I get the blocking pin things, I also got some fluffy fibre spates cumulus to hold with my beautiful merino from along Avec Anna. Can you see that there? There we go. So I'm holding these two together, and I was quite pleased with the colour match actually. Like in the light you can see there's quite a difference, but when you hold them together it produces this beautiful colour. It's got that real green tealy colour in it, which I love. And yeah, this is just a really fun little knit. So it's a tiny wee scarf. It's more of a neckerchief really. So this is actually over halfway done. So see the point, let me see if I can try and pull it out. The point here is about halfway. So it's just a little sort of neckerchief kind of scarf, and you can just tie it into a nice little bow at the front and have these cute little pointy little scarf ends. What do you call that? Scarf corner? I don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a really pretty colour. So that's the wrong side. Have I got the right side? Oh no, oh, that was right. This is the right side. So you can see the pattern. It's a little lacy pattern, and it's got an eye cord for the edges, which is quite a nice little detail. And then yeah, so basically I'm on the descent now. So here I was increasing up to the widest point, and now I'm on the decreased. So once I've finished, it'll be a nice little scarf. And again, it's got air holes, so when I'm on my dog walk, if it's cold I can sort of scrunch it up and be nice and warm, or if it's warm I can sort of undo it a bit so it breathes a bit. But yeah, beautiful. And again, I bought the fibre spates because I really enjoyed working with it with my mum's jumper. So and they have such a good range of colours in this. They've got beautiful sort of pastel colours as well. There's a yellow I want, there's a coral I want, there's like a minty green that's beautiful. What else was there? Pastel blue. They're sort of all like ice creamy kind of colours. They're beautiful. But yeah, this was the teal colour, Moonlight it's called. So I highly recommend that, and it's so soft. But the pattern for this, I swear it says you only need 50 grams to do the whole scarf. This is my 50 grams, and I guess it might just about do the whole scarf. But again, I'm a tight knitter, so I reckon I'll have to use my second balls of those. But I've got plenty, and maybe I can do some like nice lacy gloves with it, or what else could I do? A beret, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't know how much yarn a beret takes, but hopefully I'll get something else to go with it if I have leftover yarn. So that is that one, and that is all I've been working on, I think. But anyway, so at the end of February I'm going up to the Lake District, and then the beginning of March I have a local knitting retreat. So that's in Blandford, I think, or near Blandford. So I'm going away to that for a couple of days in March. And then April, I've got the Susan Crawford retreat again. So all of my friends from last year were going again, and this year we're going for about 3 or 4 days beforehand. We're going to meet up and get a cottage together and catch up before the retreat, because I'm sure sort of the hecticness of the retreat, we won't have time to sort of catch up and fill everyone in on what we've done for the year. So we're going a few days beforehand to a cottage, and then we can do all the tourist things like go on the Windermere boat and go to Beatrix Potter and all those kind of touristy things, which so I'm going to be quite busy for the next 2-3 months. Then it's Easter, isn't it? And a brand that I'm doing some work for is a farm, so she's going to be lambing pretty much between now and May, I think. So it's going to be a busy old time, and they've got Easter, so one of their products is lamb that they sell from their the meat, not like live lambs. So we're going to be doing an open day for I think it'll be on like Good Friday or something. We're going to do an open day to maximise sales for that. So it's going to be a busy old time for me. So I'm not sure when my next video will be. I will try and keep everybody up to date in my stories, as well as on the community tab as well, with what I'm doing, and if I've finished any of my projects. Probably won't, or if I start any projects, which I probably will, because I really want to cast on the Imitation game one. I'm raring to go with that one because it's such a pretty design. But yeah, so I don't know when the next sort of long form video will be, but I will try, might at the end of March just about get one in, maybe before I go away to the Lake District again. Might do. But then April's going to be busy, so I'm not sure if I'll get one done in April. I don't know. Anyway, I'll try. You can only try, hey. But anyway, yeah, I hope you are having a lovely time with your knitting. Do tell me what you're knitting, I'd love to know. And if you're doing any knit-alongs along the way. So give me a thumbs up for this video, it would be much appreciated. And I will see you soon.